So the UFC 314 pre-fight press conference just took place, and finally, we have got an entertaining press conference to talk about. Finally. Now, this press conference wasn't amazing from start to finish, but there were some key moments throughout this press conference. Let's start off with this one right away.
3.
So, as you can see, Silva, obviously, at the press conference, the first one for this event, he had a lot of people on his side barking at Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell was like public enemy number 1 going into that one. Where this time around, it was very mixed. Silva did not have the support like he had first time around. And also, see for the 3 people in the crowd barking when Silva told them to, please do me a favour and go back to your girlfriend's house, sit in the corner and watch while your girlfriend gets plowed by her boyfriend, because stop fucking barking. This guy's not I Show Speed and neither are you in the crowd. Shut the fuck up. But after this, we know Bryce Mitchell. We've heard him talking about Silva and the demons that are with this guy. Bryce Mitchell, after this barking scenario, drops the best line at a press conference ever. Let's take a listen.
I put a lot of dogs down in my day. All those dogs that like to come up to the farm, they kill my animals. They come to harm me and my family, and they come barking. You know what they all got in common? They squeal right before they die.
Bars. Bryce Mitchell is up there spitting absolute fucking heat, and Silva's sitting there smiling. He has no idea what's being said yet. The translator doesn't even have time to translate it. The crowd goes absolutely mental. Silva's literally sitting there smiling, thinking, Bryce Mitchell said something, and the crowd screaming for me. No. No. The crowd have finally woken up to Bryce Mitchell. Let's take a listen to that again. This guy's got it. This guy is heartbroken by the lack of support this time around. Why does my voice keep fucking breaking? That's the excitement I have for Bryce Mitchell. Let's listen to this.
Dogs down in my day. Dogs down in my day. All those dogs that like to come up to the farm, they kill my animals. They come to harm me and my family, and they come barking. You know what they all got in common? They squeal right before they die.
That there might be the best line ever spoken at a press conference ever. Get Bryce Mitchell on every single press conference going forward. Him and Silva stole the show. Well, I don't know if I'll say they stole the show at that press conference. Bryce Mitchell definitely had the better lines out of anybody up on stage. Maybe if I knew Spanish, I might not be saying this, but that there, best line of the press conference by far. Some other journalist asked Bryce Mitchell about Silva said something about CTE, and Bryce Mitchell was like, I was born with CTE, brother. Bar again, another bar. But let's move on to this right here. We've got this right here. Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez. I need someone to translate in the comments for me. What is this about? And I need to see this fight next. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen. I'm not sure. Maybe you might speak Spanish, the people watching the video. I have no idea what these guys are saying. But this is money. This is must-see TV. And this has to headline the UFC, not Shea card.
Yair, ¿qué te parecen esas expresiones?
Let me pause this quickly, sorry. Right. What I'm understanding from this is Yair Rodriguez is a bit of beef with Diego Lopez, because Diego Lopez was actually originally born in Brazil, but he represents Mexico. He says that, well, he has like the Brazilian and Mexican flag. He said he represents Mexico as well. He was born in Brazil. I think he now lives and trains in Mexico, where Yair Rodriguez is originally from Mexico but lives in Chicago in America. But that's the background that I know of, and I only know that because there was an interview done with Yair Rodriguez. It was his media day, and someone actually asked him that. So behind the scenes, people must know that these two guys have beef. And for those who remember, this fight between Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez was rumoured to be the main event of that UFC Fight Night Mexico card, which was headlined by Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. But enough of me talking, let's watch this cinema.
Culón.
Oh.
Culón.
Oh.
Dímelo. Culón. Eres culón, ¿sabes por qué es culón?
What are they saying?
No le pegaron a
nadie contra tú y tu equipo.
Say it to my face.
No le pegaron a Diego, no le pegaron a Marco entre tú y tu equipo.
Escucha.
Le pegaron a Marco entre tú y tu equipo, ¿sí o no? Esperando el momento correcto.
Oh, there's the invisible wall holding back Yair Rodriguez.
No me lo vas a pagar a mí por Marcos, güey.
And you guys
Y si me esperas la verga, güey.
fight me. Is that what you want to fight me? What's going on?
Tocan a alguien de mi equipo y confesarás las consecuencias con confesión de él.
Don't talk about my team, man. Don't talk about my team. Don't
We
talk about
need
my
this
team.
fight next. We need this fight next.
This is Sir Bryce. Bryce, after the
And what makes this funny is at the start, Yair Rodriguez was literally like, no, I don't like to talk trash. I don't like to talk trash. And then out of nowhere, he just erupts. But also what I find really interesting about this beef is these guys have been at a press conference before. They were both on stage at the other UFC 314 press conference and not a word was said between them. And then at this one right here, it just explodes. Now maybe something has happened recently between both camps. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Again, I don't speak Spanish, but they were heated in that moment. And this is perfect for my predictions because I have Volkanovski beating Diego Lopez and you can see how flustered Diego Lopez is. His mind's going to be on Yair Rodriguez now. And that is exquisite for us Volkanovski fans because Volk was going to beat him regardless. Let's just call it what it is. But right now, with Diego Lopez's mind being solely focused on Yair Rodriguez and that shirt that he was wearing, because let's take a look. What the fuck is... Oh, you actually can't see it on screen. Am I going to get it on screen or is my computer just going to fuck me off? Or... Yeah, right there you can see it at the start. What the fuck is that?
But what the hell, boy?
That might, like, was it shit shirt night or something? Between Yair and his teammates? Or like, what the fuck is that? That is one of the worst shirts I've ever seen. But yeah, that was cinema right there. Win, lose or draw, we need to see this matchup next for both guys. Obviously, if Lopez wins the belt, we're unfortunately going to get Movsar Evloev. But we know that Volk's going to beat Lopez, Pitbull's going to beat Yair, and then we can see this fight. And like, if that leak that happened last week, I believe, for the Elliot Taporia Charles Oliveira matchup happens, this is the perfect co-main event to that card. Sorted. That Noche card is absolutely sorted. Let's move on to what else I've got. Realistically, these are just the face-offs. Look at this, look at this. Bryce Mitchell didn't even flinch when Gene Silva starts barking at him. Might have one of the worst tattoos ever, by the way, with that barcode and that other shit out the back of his head. I don't know why it is that. Bryce Mitchell being an underdog is absolutely criminal to me. I really don't understand how he's such a big underdog. In fact, I do. It's because people don't agree with what he said. That's the only reason. Let's see what else I've got to talk about here. Yeah, this is the face-off between Volk and Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. You can see Volk is game for this matchup. You can see Diego Lopez is looking at Volkanovski there being like, a fucking cunt, Yair Rodriguez, because even after the press conference, Yair Rodriguez and Diego Lopez were still going back and forth with one another. So this is obviously mega beef. By the way, just quickly to go back to this video right here, this clip between Gene Silva and Bryce Mitchell. Gene Silva missed weight first time around for this fight. Now, he made weight second time. He made 146 pounds. But that is worth knowing that Gene Silva missed weight first time around. He had to come back and get back on the scales. So that would indicate to me that Gene Silva has had a really tough weight cut for this fight. Bryce Mitchell made weight first time around because the guy's a professional. He's based, you know what I mean? But he's a model citizen. But Gene Silva, on the other hand, missed weight. So that would indicate that this guy's had a really tough training camp and a tough time making weight, which makes me even more confident in my Bryce Mitchell pick. What else have I got? Oh yeah, I've got this right here to talk about. So, Paddy Pimblett and Michael Chandler. I feel like Paddy Pimblett's fallen into this trap by Michael Chandler.
Bruh.
Where Michael Chandler's threw the bait out to be friendly with Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett's hooked on now. Michael Chandler's wheeling him in. Michael Chandler and Pimblett, especially, and they had a bit of a back and forth at the press conference. Really not much was said between both guys, and I feel like this is the co-main events kind of went under the radar. But anyway, Conor McGregor posted this, not sparring footage, pad work footage of him out in Dubai. I don't know where he is. Yeah, it is Dubai, I'm pretty sure. That's where he is, like, been posting shit recently. And said, I am interested in the Chandler-Pimblett fight this weekend, which would indicate to me that Conor McGregor is coming back and he is going to fight the winner of this matchup, hopefully. We've been thinking Conor McGregor's going to be coming back for a while now. Obviously, had Michael Chandler in the sidelines for 2 years. I don't know if we ever see Conor McGregor back. I'm unsure, but this is interesting. He's obviously looking forward to the Paddy Pimblett-Michael Chandler matchup, and the winner of that would be a good comeback fight for McGregor. If Pimblett wins, Pimblett versus McGregor is absolutely mega. That there's a massive matchup. Obviously, the Michael Chandler one is still a big matchup. Those guys have had history. I've got the hiccups. Have had history, obviously done the Ultimate Fighter and shit like that together, but that there was what people were at. The Michael Chandler and Pimblett were asked about Conor McGregor on stage, and this is what they're on about, because this was the footage that Conor McGregor released on social media. Other than that, not really much to talk about in the press conference. Volkanovski didn't say much, and Nikita Krylov's now representing Russia. What else was said? That was it, really. Outside of Bryce Mitchell, Gene Silva, and Yair Rodriguez and Diego Lopez popping up, not much really happened. I am excited for UFC 314. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I really appreciate the support as always. And I will see you. Ignore that voice break. That's like fucking 6 this video. And I will see you all again in the next one.